Hello internet, hello and welcome to this video. Today I want to talk about patch 6.78, just got released yesterday, and we don't know when it's gonna get implemented into the Dota 2 client. However, I expect it to be pretty soon. I'm just gonna go through everything that is relevant to us and talk about it a little bit. However, of course, seeing as I'm not very good at the game, I'm not gonna be giving you too much opinion on the issue. I'm just gonna tell you about it. In the background you got a game that's fast forwarded, yet again as usual. However, there's also gonna be text on the screen with all of the changes in there as I talk about them. Later on today I will also be releasing a video in which me and a much better player than me, a friend of mine that has been teaching me a lot about the game, will discuss the major changes in this patch, so you can get some more high-level insight. I, right now, will only tell you what they changed and not as much why they did that, because I don't really know a lot about that. So first up is X, and he just got a cooldown decrease on the counter helix. Not really sure if this makes any difference. So yeah, Ancient Apparition. The interesting change about this hero was of course the Ice Blast Aghanim Scepter, which makes the duration 17 seconds. That's very long, and I actually believe this to be very powerful. However, the problem of course is that Ancient Apparition is a support, so is he gonna get the Aghanim Scepter? That's a little bit debatable. Then we got Badge Rider. He got a Vision Decrease, which that seems like a pretty rough nerf actually. And a Flame Break. Mana cost increase, which yeah, that's just okay. Then we got Beastmaster, Greater Hawk, Invisible Fate Time, decrease from 5 to 4. Yeah. Bloodseeker, Strict Wheels first, that name. Now gives you bonus armor when active, so that's the hunting down enemies thingy. So that's cool that you actually get some armor while that's active. That does mean it actually makes you very powerful during fights. And also Blood Rage dispels the target before applying its buff, so it removes things like Ethereal. And also Rupture damage is now HP loss. It's not even damage anymore, so this just goes through everything. It doesn't matter what you activate, Rupture damage will always deal the same amount of damage, and there's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Next up is Bounty Hunter. This track mana cost got reduced to 50 at all levels, so that's nice. Bristleback Will Spray hit memory increased from 10 to 14 seconds. This means you can get one additional spray hit on any enemy, and that's of course a significant amount of additional damage that is possible. So I really like that change actually. We got Broodmother, Incapacitating Bite, mischance from 10, whatever, like to 20% more basically. And I like this change actually. It's cool because if you now just get 1 point into this, it's actually already gonna be useful, which that's definitely nice. And of course spawn spiderlings, no spawns, more spiderlings again. So we're gonna have lots of little spiders. Yay! I like that. Broodmother was actually my favorite hero back in the old Dota 1 days. Just random fun fact of the day. Anyways, then we got Centaur Warchief. He's now added into Captain's mode. This means he can be picked up competitively, which I'm super excited about, because the hero just seems like he would bring a lot of action to the game, and that's of course something we want to see in competitive play. Then we got Kling's Strafe cooldown decreased, which, well, that's cool I suppose. Clockwork Goblin, his power cogs no longer knock back magic immune units. This is a really nice change, because it's finally possible to do something against that ability. It was just horribly annoying, so I really like to see that. And we got Crystal Maiden. Brilliance Aura Mana Vision increased by 0.5 at all levels, and then a few other number changes. So that's nice. I really like this change for the Aura Door, because this means you can just get 1 point of it early on and it's already gonna have a great effect onto your team. Then we got Darkseer. Vacuum cooldown increased from 22 to 24, but that's minor. Dazzle Shadow Wave target count increased by 1 for all levels except for the first one, and the Shadow Wave can now be cast on magic immune allies. The second one is of course a really big deal. And this is gonna be very annoying to go up against if somebody has a BKB and then the Shallow Grave on. Oh my god. Holy hell. That's annoying. Can't lock him down, can't kill him. What are you gonna do? Anyways, Death Prophet, movement speed decreased from 285 to 280. Yeah, that seems minor. Silence AoE increased. This is cool. Like, It's 350 at all levels. That's a huge AoE, by the way. It's incredible. That's very, very strong. And the Witchcraft move speed bonus increased. So even though she got a movement speed nerf, she will still be quicker. So that's something to keep in mind. Next up is Disruptor. His Thunder Strike from 3 strikes over 4 seconds to 4 strikes over 6 seconds. And of course they had to rescale the Thunder Strike damage per strike. It, however, is still more than previously, and they also increased the AoE. Then we got Doom. Now this is a big one. Doom now disables a lot of passives. As well, there's a new Aghanim Scepter upgrade, which, as long as Doom is within 550 range of the enemy hero, Doom will not count down. So I can already see players running around with Shadowblade, dooming people and then going invisible right next to them and being like, ah, ha 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 ha, you know you're dead. This is gonna be so annoying. He already is so annoying. I hate Doom! Dragon Knight, the Corrosive Breath passive from level 1 Elder Form now carries over to the level 2. The nice thing about this is that people are now gonna actually skill the level 2 ultimate. Usually players would skip it until level 15 and then just go for the level 16 ultimate, as the Corrosive Breath passive is really, really strong for pushing towers. So that's a nice change. Then we've got the Draw Ranger, the 2-shot aura increased by 2% at all levels. That's just minor, really. Earthshaker turn rate improved, so that's cool. Visual range increased. And Echo Slam now considers illusions as heroes. I don't really think this one is as important. Then we got Enchantress, Aghanim Scepter bonus attack range increased from 165 to 190, so that's a cool change, but I don't think this is game changing yet again. Metaphys scaling reworked. The cool thing about the new Metaphys is that it's now gonna have 3 ticks at all levels, but it's all about how long the stun duration lasts. If you skill it up, the stun duration will last longer. It also deals a little bit more damage, so that's really, really nice. Doesn't mean the ability is useless at level 1 anymore, so that's definitely appreciated. Then we got Timbersaw. He got an increase in base strength, increase in int growth, which is very much useful. Chakram, the ultimate, mana cost decreased, and the Chakram movement speed increased. The only thing, this is too game breaking. Gyrocopter, the flag cannon cooldown increased by 10 seconds. I actually think this is going to be a big deal, because this means you're not going to be able to actually get off 2 flag cannons in most team fights, which indeed is very useful. Also restricts your farming capabilities, as killing Ancients is not as easy anymore. Next up is Husker. His base strength got increased, his Burning Spear DPS got increased, and the Life Break HP cost got also increased. Now the big deal about Husker, of course, is the Berserker's Blood rework. It now only increases your attack speed and your magic resistance as opposed to attack speed and magic damage. This, coupled with the fact that the Burning Spear DPS got increased, makes me think they want to go for more of a tanky Huskar that gets most of his damage from the Burning Spear, as opposed to just a straight up right click DPS regular style hero. Right. He also got removed from Captain Asmoid. We got Invoker. Just a few number changes, really. I don't really know what they do. So, yeah. Next up is Io. The spirits no longer provide vision except temporarily when they collide with an enemy hero. Don't really know if that has such a big impact. And the overcharge HP mana cost increased to 4.5%. Then we got a Juggernaut. Omnislash no longer jumps on Tombstone zombies. That seems to be like much more of a bug fix than anything. Then we got Keeper of the Light base strength decreased by 2. Well, big fucking deal. Kunkka, Ghost Chip damage increased. X marks the spot mana cost decreased. And X marks the spot vision decreased. Lich, now this is a big one in my opinion. Chain Frost bounce count increased from 7 to 10, so it can bounce 10 times now. That's crazy. That seems to be very powerful to me. Dice Dealer, open wounds, cast range decreased from 600 to 200, 300, 400, 500. The 200 level 1, of course, is a huge deal, as you now have to actually get close to an enemy hero. Takes away a lot of his early game potential. A lot of it. And it also nerfs him a bit late game, but I like this change a lot actually. Then we got Lina Inverse, attack range increased to 635, that's sweet. Lion, mana drain break and cast range improved, and Aghanim Scepter cooldown decreased to 20 seconds on that Finger of Death. Now, if you're playing more of a solo line, actually getting an Aghanim Scepter after you got your blink doesn't seem like a bad idea anymore, because you can just use Finger of Death twice, even 3 times maybe in one fight. That of course would just be crazy. Then here we go with one of the big ones. Spirit Bear now has its HP drained by Armlet when active and also has a much higher bounty, a bounty similar to a hero kill. So we are no longer going to see Spirit Bear Armlet, which I suppose if they don't want that, it was more of a bug anyways. Lycanthrope, armor increased by 1, great. Magnetor, reverse polarity damage decreased. Now, Medusa Stone Gaze. This is a big one yet again. It now slows as it did previously, but if you look for 2 seconds at the Medusa, you will get stunned for 3 seconds and you will take bonus physical damage. However, while you're stunned, you also don't take magic damage. So, that's of course a very interesting change, more for late game change I suppose, as physical damage increase and magic immunity. I don't really know what to think about this one, but she also got removed from Captain's Mode, so I'm pretty sure they also don't know what to think about it. Anyways, Meepo! He got his magic resistance increased by 10%, that's nice. Mirana, Nunes arrow now deals up to 100 extra damage based on the distance the arrow traveled. Ultimate cooldown decreased, and Starfall will choose a new target for the second star if the first died before the impact, so no longer will go on to dead enemies, which honestly that never made sense to me anyways, so that's cool. Morphling base attack time decreased, that's cool indeed. He now hits a little bit quicker during any point of the game, and he will hit very much a lot quicker during the late game. Then we got the Naga Siren, Riptide cooldown to 10. That's nice, I guess. Necrolite, now this is also a big one. If a unit dies under Reaper's Sight, it will always be credited to Necrolite. The nice thing about this is, of course, the combination with the passive. So as long as the enemy dies within the Reaper's Sight, you will get all of the regen. So that's, of course, gonna be very useful for the Necrolite. But the big one is the Aghanim Scepter upgrade. If killed while under the Reaper's Sight, which as long as it's used on somebody, right, and they die, while it's active, it's killed underneath the Reaper's Sight, you cannot buy back. This is a huge deal for late game Necrolite. If you shut down an enemy carry with that, that just might be a game winning ability. So I would not be surprised to see Aghanim Scepter every game on every Necrolite. Not be surprised at all. Then we got a Nerubian Assassin, mana burn, drain and damage decreased from 5 times int to a scaling number now, which that's nice. I like to see that. They rescaled his mana cost though, but I definitely like this because, well, no, there's actually a reason to leveling up the ability other than having a lower cooldown. You don't just deal maximum damage at level 1, which I always thought to be a little bit ridiculous. Night Stalker Hunter in the Night, attack speed rescaled. It's a little bit higher early on now, so that's cool, I guess. Obsidian Destroyer, higher movement speed. Ogre Magi, more Ignite DPS. And here we go with another big one. Omni Knight added Aghanim Scepter. Guardian Angel AoE becomes global and affects buildings. This is of course a huge deal. You will no longer be able to catch someone without the Omni Knight being able to support him. However, seeing as Omni Knight is more of a support hero, again, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pick up that Aghanim Scepter. And since he's not really a strong carry, he cannot really make use of money, except for, I suppose, that Aghanim Scepter. I'm not sure if this is actually, like, gonna mean that we are going to see him competitively. I, however, will definitely give this thing a shot. Then we got Pandaren Brewmaster. Aghanim's Primal Split units will gain your Condor of Drunken Brawler. Since Aghanimus was already pretty popular on Pandaren Brewmaster, I think this is a nice change. And it also makes sense, because Drunken Brawler was one of those abilities that you didn't have if you used your ultimate, which is like, well, why do I have the ability to begin with then, right? I can't use it like the other ones before I split up and I'm just not gonna have it. Now you will be able to actually have that ability, which I think is really cool. We got Phantom Assassin, Blur Evasion increased to 40%. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm never gonna be able to hit her now. Phantom Lancer, his illusions now deal a little bit less damage. That's cool. Patch, he gets a little bit more strength. We got Pugna. He deals a little bit more damage to buildings. And he can now also target a Tombstone, which is very useful if you got the Tombstone on your side, of course. It's gonna make... You're gonna be able to protect it from attacks, which that's cool. Then we got Razor. He just got a bunch of, number changes. Eye of Storm duration increased, strike interval increased, and movement speed bonus increased. We got Rikimaru. His fade time got decreased to 1 second in max, which I think that's a pretty big deal. Sand King, invisibility fade delay when exiting Sandstorm to 1.5. Which is cool, I guess. We got a Shadow Demon. Base intelligence increased by 3. That's cool. Shadow Poison no longer gives vision over targets with the debuff. If you use the ability, you still gain vision, but you no longer gain vision on targets that are debuffed. Guess it's pretty obvious, right? Shadow Fiend, Requiem of Soul, slow rescale to 20%. However, the big deal, of course, is Requiem of Soul damage reduction increased to 50%. That's actually a big deal, so that's a very strong team fighting ability now, as enemies will not deal a whole lot of damage for a pretty considerable duration. Shadow Shaman, just damage increase in here. Good silencer, no effect sleeping units. This is cool, allows you to set up a little bit better with the Mega Serum combination. You don't have to time it perfectly now. And we also got a Negative Scepter upgrade, which applies the coordinate of Curse of the Silent to all units and increases ultimate duration by 1 second. Don't really know if this is a big deal, if I'm completely honest. We got Skeleton King. Oh, this is a big deal. Reincarnation slow, no effects. Reincarnation slow, no effects. Attack speed as well, and reincarnation slow happens immediately upon death rather than after reincarnating. Also, they reworked his critical strike. So it's still a crit, still the same thing. However, you can activate it. This will mean you do not have the critical strike for 25 seconds. However, you will steal 20% of the maximum HP of an enemy hero and just add it to your own. And after 7 seconds, you just give it back again. But I see this being an incredibly powerful ability because he does not scale. This ability does not scale. 1 point into it and it's a 1 point wonder. I think it's actually really cool, and it's got a very low mana cost as well. Seems to be incredibly powerful in my opinion. Then we got Slavlau, bash damage type from magical to physical, so this means it bashes through magic immunity and sprint cooldown decreased. That's nice. Shrapnel, AoE increased for sniper. Spirit Breaker, Charge of Darkness will now also create to bash its target, so that's cool. A little bit more damage, a little bit more stun on that. Storm Spirit Electric Vortex, cooldown increased from 20 to 21, 20, 19, 18. Yeah, I don't know if that makes a big difference. And still Spirit Vision type from flying to ground for the Tauren Chieftain. And now this one is a little bit more important. The Natural Order Aura increased to 100% at level 4. Which, well, say goodbye to your armor. So that's cool. Tidehunter, Ravage, AoE rescaled to 1025 at all levels. That ability needed a buff? I don't know, I really thought it was ridiculous anyways, but I'm just a noob, so whatever. Tiny, toss cooldown decreased from 10 to 9, that's nice. And you can now toss units to runes. That's funny, I don't see any use for it, but I guess that's possible now. Then we got Treant Protector, a higher slow on the Leech Seed, and the Leech Seed's healing effect no longer ends when the target dies. Treant Protector, I thought to already be very powerful as it is, but I guess the Leech Seed wasn't incredible. We got Troll Warlord, Battle Trance cooldown increased from 20 to 30, and Battle Trance duration decreased from 10 to 7, so he doesn't hit as quickly as often anymore. Tuskar, Snowball cooldown decreased from 24 to 21. Yes, give me more Tuskar buffs, please. Undying, Soul Rip cast range increased from 650 to 750. That's cool, I guess. Ursa, Warrior, Fierce Swipes duration increased from 6 to 15. That's actually a big deal. That's a lot more duration on that. So he can actually switch targets during a fight, and if he's forced to, you can just go back to the original target and it's still gonna have the debuff, which that's cool. Metro Spirit, more strength on that, son of a bitch. And also never swap cast range rescaled a bit, but I don't know if this is a big deal. Venomancer, Poison Sting duration increased. Cool, I guess. Now, Viper, corrosive skin affects any damage source such as regular attacks. So all spells, that's cool, I like that. This makes the corrosive skin actually very powerful, and I think that's pretty fun. However, it will be awful to play against a non-Chimo. No, don't do that to me. Viper Strike is also no longer removed by Dark Pact or Kraken Shell, so that's cool. Witch Doctor, Death Ward cast range rescaled from 300 blah 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 to 400, and Maledict cast range increased to 525. That's cool, I like that. A lot more cast range on a Maledict. I always thought Maledict was a cool ability, and I'm really happy that it's a little bit more powerful now, as hitting it was always a bit of a problem. Then, items. Drums, recipe cost increased. That's cool. I'm not surprised by that at all, because you see that item like every game 10 times. Armlet. I'm kind of sad, but they decreased the HP region a bit. Only by 1 point from 8 to 7. Not a big deal, but don't leave Armlet alone. Assault Courier's positive armor was no longer prevented from stacking with other items, so it now works with like Vladimir's Offering, Ring of Basilos, stuff like that, right? Then we got a BKB! Magic Immunity now has the 6th level of decrease. This is probably one of the biggest changes in this patch, because a 4-second duration on that BKB means that you will have to buy a new BKB almost every game if you want to actually have a useful item. So that's actually a huge deal. The charges on the BKB will be much more important now. Much more important. Then we got a Blade Mail, armor increased a bit, damage return, cooldown decreased. Bloodstone, now this one is funny. You start off with 2 more initial charges and it can be activated to instantly kill yourself. Now, I had the best idea for this item. The best idea. What you want to do with this is you get 4 of those and you pick one hard carry, like, I don't know, Medusa. You pick Medusa and then you pick 4 other heroes, doesn't matter which, but you give all of those heroes a Bloodstone. Medusa charges into a fight, and every time she's about to die, one of you guys runs in and just commits suicide and heals her up. And the enemies are just gonna like, no, stop it! And then she's about to die again, and another one of you others runs in and is like, commit suicide, and BAM! Healed up again. I don't know. I want to see that happen just once. It probably won't ever happen, but whatever. No, another big change. Bottle. While empty, bottles causes courier to move 30% slower. Yeah, kind of necessary. Bottle crowing was really powerful. This also applies to the courier when he's using the speed boost, so that's something to keep in mind. Courier can also no longer block neutral creeps from spawning. Dagon cost decreased, Dust of Appearance, no stacks in inventory, that's cool. Fear Blade, for Alley Casterage increased to 4 seconds. Ooh, Scepter movement speed bonus increased by 5. 4-step, recipe cost decreased by 100. Gem of Truth can no longer be destroyed, which that's actually a really big deal, I think. A really big deal. Once you buy one, it's gonna stay in the game. Also, the gold cost was increased, so that's something to keep in mind. Then we got a headdress, so more aura on that, I guess. Cooldown on Blink Dagger will decrease by 2, that's fine. Cooldown on Lincolns decreased by 3. Loafer's Edge damage decreased by 8. Medallion of Courage cast range increased by 200. Mechanism Regeneration Aura increased by 250. Buckler armor bonus active increased by 750. Necromonicon armor type change from heavy to hero. This means they take less damage from creeps but the same amount from heroes. Then we got Null Talisman, recipe cost decreased from 145 to 133. Observer Board. Now they only start with 1 stock as opposed to 2, which that's something to keep in mind actually. This is a big deal. You can now only have 2 wards at the beginning of the game as opposed to 4. Quelling Blade, however, can now also target wards. So you can actually attack a ward with a Quelling Blade and deal 100 damage to that, and it has got an increased cast range of 350. My guess is that this is to allow mini heroes to actually kill wards. Radiance, a little bit more burn damage. Exchange and Yasha, minor changes to stats. That's what it says on the patch notes, like it's really minor actually. Sentry Ward, AoE decreased. Fate time of the Shadow Amulet decreased by 0.2. Great. Shiva's Guard, AoE decreased from 1000 to standard 900. Shiva's Guard, attack speed reduction from 30 to 40. Stygian Desolator, armor reduction increased to 7. Veil of Discord, Discord AoE increased from 550 to 600. So much for that. We got a few Captain small changes, but whatever. We have also got some changes to the gameplay overall, which I'm just gonna read those, because I really don't know enough about the game to give you an opinion on these. Deny XP and bonus XP God AoE is not the same as regular XP AoE. It's from 1000 to 1200. 4 hero XP bonus change from 15 plus 6 times the level to 20 plus 5 times the level. So all of those... all of my spreadsheets are useless now. Fuck it. 5 hero XP bonus change from 10 plus 5 times the level to 15 plus 4 times the level. Level 11 XP requirements reduced from 6,500 to 6,000, and level 12 XP requirements increased from 7,700 to 8,200. So this is rather weird actually. I guess this is supposed to encourage more action as you now get to level 11 much earlier on in the game. And gold ending for a spree changed to more than it previously was. Buyback cooldown increased from 5 to 6 minutes, that's cool. Level 1 and level 2 towers armor increased from 18 to 20. Those no longer have separate bounty values when creeps or allies get the last hit. It now gives the same reliable bounty to all players as if a creep killed it. So that's interesting. This basically means that your team now always gets the same amount of money. It's just that the hero last hitting gets a little bit more. Then we got backdoor protection now, also reduces incoming damage by 25%, and siege units HP increased from 500 to 550. And yeah, that's cool, I guess. Also something I hate, whipping a random hero now readds the hero to the pool. That's not a problem, but this one is. Swapping a hero that you random now costs you 100 gold. Well, fuck you too, that's not cool. I'm still gonna random. You won't stop me. You can't stop me. Anyways. So this was actually much longer than I expected it to be, but holy hell, these are a lot of changes after all. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I guess it was kind of monotone at some points, but whatever. Whatever, it had to be done. Deal with it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating on the video. And if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And I guess, see you later on. Bye.